All right. Let's get started.
Hit me.
All right. This is Saddleborn Podcast. I am Sadie Schick.
I'm Michelle Filippini.
And we are sitting here with Jack Payne. And we are here at Eastgate Ranch. That's kind of how I found you to begin with.
Okay.
Your social media post went viral, right?
Which one?
The one about when you went to DC.
Okay.
And so it came across my feed and I was like, oh, who is this? And so I clicked on it and I go down a rabbit hole. I'm like, he's from Nevada. And so it kind of piqued our interest a little bit. And so we decided to reach out to you and kind of get to know you as a person. So,
But is he from Nevada?
is he from Nevada? He's in Nevada.
He
so
lives in Nevada now,
Yeah.
but where are you from?
Yeah. I grew up in Jordan Valley, Oregon. Mm-hmm. Yep. Grew up in Owyhee County on the Idaho side. And, but the closest town was Jordan Valley. So,
okay.
yeah, homeschooled until, so my sister's homeschooled. They're older than me. Then they started high school, I think when I was about 5th or 6th grade. So then they had to drive to Jordan Valley for high school. So then I started going to a little grade school in Pleasant Valley, Idaho.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
What was the population in Pleasant Valley?
I don't even know. It's just all the ranches together.
So were there
yeah.
more than one grade in a class?
Yeah, it was K through 12.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys know my classmate, Jackie Grillo?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Jackie?
I know of her. I've never personally met her, I don't think.
Yeah, so it's just the two of us in our class. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Goodness. Because she lives around
So
the
her
area.
maiden name was Stanford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Stanford's got several ranches in Jordan Valley.
Uh-huh. You ever miss it there?
Yeah. Oh, do I miss it there?
Yeah.
Oh, I miss the summers and I miss the people. I don't miss the winters and feeding hay. And
Yeah.
I miss all my friends, but I don't miss ranching there.
Yes. So that's where the buckaroo term came when
Yeah.
you were
You
just
buck
chatting.
hay.
Buckaroo.
Yeah,
rue it out.
You buck hay all summer and rue it all winter. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we still run cows there in the summertime. We go there about April with cattle, and then they'll be coming home from there pretty soon. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you still get to see it quite often then?
Yeah, I go up there probably. So Amy runs that ranch that you guys met when we were Brandon. So she runs that ranch up there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she just came down this week to help us with the big feeder sale. And so, yeah, I go up and help her probably about 1 week out of the month, something like that. If she's got cattle to move, otherwise I just stay down here.
Well, you're on the road a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, he got like 5 phone calls just while he was branding cats.
I know,
so.
I was wondering. I wonder if his phone's ever just turned off and I'm accidentally out of service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be when I'd go to Jordan Valley, the phone didn't work, but it pretty much works everywhere up there now. So
Damn cell towers
yeah,
everywhere.
but I used to like to get away from it, but now like if I miss it for a couple days, then I just get so far behind. It's better just to have it and stay ahead.
It's like your office is in your pocket.
Yeah. We're going to get you a
Yeah,
headset.
when you get back to service and you have like 150 messages, you're just like, I don't even want to start.
Very.
You know?
Oh, that's the
It's
worst.
too late.
Yeah.
So we may be jumping too far ahead because we normally start from like childhood up.
Yeah.
But I'm so curious to hear about the Washington, D.C. trip.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in the cattle industry. And I'm just an independent. Like I'm a member of U.S. Cattlemen's. I'm on the board of directors, but that's not why I got invited there. So a guy named A.J. Richards, and he owns a company called From the Farm, and that he had started. He's a veteran, and he started that. From the Farm is just a place for sellers to put their farm products, including beef and vegetables and all that, on there, and then the consumers can go there to buy. So it's just kind of connecting. It's kind of like, I guess you'd say, the farmer's market, but all like online and everything is shipped to you. So instead of going to the farmer's market. So he started that company. And so then I don't know how AJ got invited to Turning Point, but he went there and spoke. And I think it was just kind of about food security and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he just told the truth. He's like, this nation's in a crisis. We can't feed ourselves. You know, we're importing all this beef and our domestic supply is way down. And of course the consumers don't know that because there's just always beef in the grocery store.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know that it's being imported from other countries. And so he kind of just told the story. And then I, if I understand it correctly, the next day he got a call or a text or email from USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins.
Okay.
And wanted to meet with him or speak with him. And so AJ just started explaining to her what was going on out here, because AJ doesn't own a ranch. He started from the farm, but he has a lot of family that does own ranches in Utah and Nevada. And so he knows a lot of the stuff that's going on with public land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, through his family. So he was telling Secretary Rollins, well, you know, one of the main reasons that the numbers are down in the West is because the BLM is so hard for the ranchers to work with, and we just keep getting kicked off, you know?
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, can you put a team of Western ranchers together that run on public land that could come back and talk to me. So he reached out to his cousin Ramsey Hughes. I believe Ramsey has a YouTube channel, Anchor Ranch or Anchor Brand Ranch or something like that. Him and his wife and their 9 kids down in southern Nevada, near Rachel, Nevada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so AJ reached out to Ramsey, and Ramsey's like, well, call that crazy guy up in Fallon, Nevada that has that sale barn. And so AJ reached out to me, and he's like, do you want to be a part of this? And I'm like, absolutely. This is like what I've wanted,
Yeah, that's once in a lifetime.
We need to get, if we have a president and a Secretary of Interior and a Secretary of Agriculture that recognize the problem and want to fix it, like we'd be fools to pass that opportunity up.
Yeah.
So we jumped all over it.
That's kind of what when I saw that happen for people from Fallon, Nevada, little old Nevada, making their way and being able to talk to those higher ups like that was kind of impressive.
Yeah.
It did a lot for me.
So we went back there about 45 days ago, I'm guessing, somewhere in there, and kind of rolled out our plan to them of some of the stuff that we wanted to do. And then, so they were supposed to come to our sale barn, and it was weird how the first time we're back there, Secretary Rollins is like, well, we should come out west and do this announcement. And we've had 2 Trump rallies at our livestock auction, one in 2020 and 2024. So Don Jr. came out and spoke at one of them, and then the one in 2024 there was less people, but so we kind of already familiar with organizing stuff like that. And so one of the guys I was with from Utah, Hayden Ballard, he's like, well, we should have it out at Jack's sale barn in Fallon where they had those Trump rallies. And so Secretary Rollins is like, okay, we'll do it there. So I was like, oh crap, they're serious. And so we were preparing for that, and so we moved our feeder sale to be in conjunction with that. We wanted there to be lots of cattle and lots of buyers and lots of trucks and activity. And well, anyway, then with the government shutdown, that got canceled.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then, not exactly sure if this was already organized, but Trump made that we got to get beef prices down comment, and then the whole entire industry freaked out. The board went down, everybody went bonkers. So I think they're like, well, we better do an announcement of some kind to give these ranchers some hope that, we're not going to just throw you under the bus to get prices down and we don't care about you. These are the things we're doing for you to help you. And so they decided to do that announcement. So we had that big feeder sale that we had moved to that week, and I'm like, well, now I can't go because we've got 6,000 head of cattle standing here. Anyway, my wife and my crew's like, you need to go. I'm like, so anyway, I was like, okay. So anyway, we had a good crew. The sale barn crew handled all of that, and I ran home and shaved, and Rachel's friend got me a haircut. And I was off for Reno. Like within 2 hours, I was on the plane to DC, and so that's how that all went down.
Wow,
that's so neat.
And so, pulling into DC, any shell shock, culture shock while you got over there?
Yeah, I'm probably not the history buff that I need to be. It's all, to me, it's all just big cement buildings. I'm sure they all have a lot of special meaning, but it wasn't. I don't know, it wasn't that cool to me, to be honest with you. So, the White House, definitely, but just the rest of it, just
like just a bunch of buildings and a lot of cement.
Now Hayden, if you have Hayden with you, he's like, that building was built and this and so and so. Like he's just a walking dictionary on that kind of stuff, but most of it goes over my head.
Oh yeah. So how many days were you there?
So the first time we went back there, we were just there 2 days, and then this last time got back there on Tuesday, and then the announcement was on Wednesday.
Gotcha.
And then I flew out of there Wednesday night. I got back to Reno like at 1 a.m. on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was going Tuesday afternoon and all day Wednesday, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So we're going to back up a little bit.
Okay.
So back when you're like, our country doesn't know that we're low on cows, because you walk in the grocery store, there's always meat available, it seems like. That kind of goes with the MCOOL law. Is that it? The MCOOL.
Importing cattle?
That all ties together.
When will America know that it's imported or
it's there's lots of a guy named Neville Spear, I think he writes for like Beef Magazine, which is basically just the newsletter of the NCBA is what I call it. He's like, the consumers don't care about MCOOL. The consumers just want cheap beef. Well, the consumers do care. They just don't know that they're being lied to.
Because I know some people won't buy certain clothing items if it has the wrong label on it.
Right, but if the meat says product of the USA, we all think in our minds, well, our own government wouldn't lie to us about the origin of the beef, so it's obviously product of the U.S.
But it doesn't mean it was born in USA.
Right, it only has to be here 24 hours.
Yes.
It comes in these huge, these huge ships out there with hundreds of barges on them, these big containers, and it's unloaded, and only 3 to 7% of that beef is inspected. So if you want to go to your local processor in Elko or Fallon or Nampa, Idaho, that meat is inspected by like 2 or 3 inspectors. Like they're standing over the meat cutter's shoulders. That's how heavy the regulations are on domestic processing. But then we're going to ship in beef from Brazil and Uruguay and all these places and only inspect 3 to 7% of it.
Yeah.
Like when you tell people that, they just think you have owls coming out of your head, like you're crazy. You know, but it's the truth.
So that's interesting because we did like just a quick, you know how it gives you the AI version of at the top, and it was saying that we only import from countries that have similar standards as ours, and we only import like it's all inspected by USDA. And so like if you just do a quick glance through it, you would think everything's fine.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but like Brazil, I mean, they're the most corrupt country in the world as far as I'm concerned. The Batista brothers have both been to prison for paying off inspectors to ship tainted beef.
Okay.
Yeah, Google that when you get
Wow. And they're not in prison anymore.
They did go to prison. They got out.
Still
then
shipping beef?
Then I think they went back to prison again for bribing government officials in both Brazil and in America. I mean, they haven't gotten to be the biggest meat processors in the world by playing nice, you know?
Yeah.
See, Sadie, there's even fake news when it comes to beef.
I know. Well, just like if you glance at the surface, right? Sometimes you got to dig a little bit underneath to get your facts. So.
Yeah. So I think just back to MCool. So I think if I understood Secretary Rollins and her chief of staff, what she said is we can't seem to get the House and Senate to support MCool because the ranchers are too small of a voting block. Because we're just 1.5–2% at the most, the ranchers and farmers.
Yes.
So I think if I understood them correctly, they want to roll out a campaign to educate the consumers that they've been lied to. So the consumers can go to their Oregon, Idaho, Tennessee House and Senate and say, we want to check your voting record on MCool. And if you're against it, then we're going to, you need to be primaried. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think that's their angle. So right now, if I understood the plan, they're going to roll out voluntary cool, but then they're going to circle around with the consumers and educate them so they can start asking when they're in the grocery store, hey, is this? So if the grocery stores start getting a lot of pushback from the consumers saying, we want American beef, they're going to have to stop lying,
Yeah.
You think that may come soon then, like 2026, 7 or?
Yeah, so the voluntary thing is supposed to start January 1st. But when I hear voluntary, I'm just like, that's just all just make you feel good. It doesn't even do anything. But I think that's the angle they're working. But then Harriet Hageman just recently reintroduced the mandatory country of origin labeling, which is smart on her part because, and the way I'm pitching it, all these cattle organizations that have never said anything about Mexico or Brazil, they just stay quiet on it. Yeah. Which is very questionable to me. They all freaked out over the 2% from Argentina. So we're like, why is that the hill you decided to die on? But Harriet, Miss Hageman was smart. She's like, I'm going to roll out MCool right now. So all these cattle organizations that are all upset about Argentina, they'll have a really hard time saying, oh, well, we're upset about that, but we don't want to support MCool. So she's a smart lady.
Yeah. It seems like a good opportunity because I can think of just like people I know in town who have nothing to do with beef, but they're really on that all natural, on board with all those type of things. And so like really behind like Bobby Kennedy and the things he was saying, the artificial food dyes, like that's a hot thing right now.
It is.
So maybe now's the time because
it's definitely the time.
People are going to pay attention.
Yeah, the consumers are really waking up. Yeah. And then a lot of ranchers are waking up too. I mean, I've had so many calls this week. They're like, are we going to start importing from Brazil? I'm like,
we've been
importing there like hundreds of millions of tons. For you.
Yeah.
Yes.
January 17th, you told me when we were visiting last night on the phone. You said that they met their quota.
I think their tariff-free quota or their 25% tariff, whatever that number is, they had reached it by January 17th. So Brazil had met it within the first 17 days of 2025.
Wow.
Yep. And then you get into Argentina, they could fall into socialism. We're trying to help them be like us. So Trump is working with our president and he likes him. And so it's kind of this, Trump's just looking at Brazil, who are just total socialists, Venezuela, and then Argentina. And he throws them a bone of, we're going to buy some more beef from you to work with you. And then his own American ranchers just totally freak out on him. And then one group that was supposed to be there at the press release didn't show up.
Gotcha.
And it turned into this, it's just a big, ugly mess. And so then that's when Trump got really pissed off and wrote that tweet. So I was walking into the Oval Office as he was telling them what to write in that tweet, and I was just like, oh my gosh, don't say that, because everybody was already mad about the Argentina deal and the lower beef, and then that tweet, it all just snowballed. But I mean, we all know who Trump is. He's going to say that kind of stuff. So
I think, like, we have our mean tweets, right? Like, that was the thing. It was a big joke after 2020. Like, man, I sure could go for a mean tweet and lower gas right now, you know. But but on the bright side, like, if we're going to pull a positive out of it, it really started a dialogue.
It did. Yeah.
So, you know, people were upset about it. They got up in arms. But at the same point, like, it's made me go down many rabbit holes, you know, looking into things that I didn't even pay attention to before.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that today. All the good things that are coming out of it. Now people are waking up that we are importing beef from Brazil and Australia and all these other countries. And
it needed to happen to wake people up.
It did. Yeah. And it also exposed a lot of, I call them closet Democrats within the ranching industry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them just like piled on, like this was just like the cattle organizations that all jumped on him. I'm just like, man, you guys have not said a word about Mexico. You've not said a word about Brazil. And now there's some popularity in social media to attack the president. And you guys see a chance to be on the right side for once. And so you just jump in. You know, instead of being like, hold on a second, we better wait this out for a day or two and kind of see.
Okay.
Yes.
Because,
luckily for me, I was out of service in Oregon shipping these cattle that we were branding today, so I didn't even know about it for like 2 or 3 days. So, so I didn't even get a chance to overreact because I didn't even know about it.
I know. Probably better. Yeah, probably better.
Absolutely.
I mean, it makes you wonder how many Americans we aren't importing beef from Mexico right now.
Well, the screwworm, right? The New World screwworm kind of shut down the border.
Cattle. We're not importing live cattle.
Live cattle. Okay.
But we are importing boxed beef. Oh. And that has, like, I'm not going to give you numbers because they'll be wrong, but that has gone way up.
It has.
Okay.
And Brazil didn't just go build all these processing plants overnight. So, or not Brazil, Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico.
So what Brazil's doing is because we have a high tariff on Brazil.
Yep.
So they bring them.
They're super smart. They're rolling beef into Mexico, just like China when we had high tariffs on China, so they start sending their little trinkets to Mexico because we have a lower tariff on them. And then Brazil's doing the same thing through Mexico. And then I think a lot of that screwworm got to Mexico by bringing in cattle from South America. So the cartel is so involved in the cattle trade in Mexico, and that was one thing I did get a chance to talk to President Trump about. So as I walked in, he says, that's right, these cattle are high because of my tariffs, right? And he says that to Hayden and I, and I said, yeah, partially, and then partially because the Mexican border's closed, and then the other part is that so many ranchers have gone out of business. There's just less
absolutely.
cattle. You know? And so then I seen an opportunity there to talk about the border and the cartel, because I've been so ticked off about that some of our cattle organizations, like LMA, was down at the border selling Mexican cattle for their world champion auctioneering contest. And they're the group that freaked out about Argentina. But just a year ago, you were down there selling cattle for your competition. Like, if you're going to have an American competition, maybe sell American cattle in the competition. Yeah. And they're selling M-branded Mexican cattle. So they're just talking out of both sides of their mouth. So anyway, I got ticked off about that. But so I was able to tell President Trump, I said, buying cattle out of Mexico is the same as buying oil out of the Middle East. You're funding terrorism.
See, Jack, you can dumb this down for me, but I had no idea the cartel was in the cows in Mexico.
Big time. Yeah.
Did you?
It's a money laundering, so they can just...
I had no idea.
Yeah. It's like watching that show, The Ozarks. You ever watch that?
No.
It's a crazy show on Netflix or something, but it's all about laundering money. And I mean, they got, laundering mats and everything you can imagine. And so the cattle's a big thing for...
Because the cartel can just go where they choose, right? And they can see a ranch and they can say, we are taking your cattle, basically. In Mexico,
and the cartel owns all the politicians.
Yeah.
And they own the police, and they own the army, and they own everybody.
Right. Yeah.
So it's such a corrupt nation. I just tell people all the time, like, look at all this dead yellow grass up there on that hill. Like, why don't we eat that?
No, let it
not
burn.
Bring it.
Just let it burn.
Right, let it burn. So we're going to go down and support the cartel. We're going to support the cartel, and so they can create more fentanyl to come to our country with to poison our citizens, and we're going to let our own country just go to waste. And we're going to let our rural communities all dry up because there's nobody buying fuel, there's nobody buying tires, there's nobody going to the feed store, there's nobody going to the restaurants. You know? I
was thinking about it. Michelle and I were talking about it on the drive up here, but so this year we've had good cattle prices. Last year they came up a little bit, but the year before that they weren't that great. I didn't think. No. They were not good at all. And and we're kind of in a deficit. We had like Elko, Lamoille area. We had a big like snowstorm. So like it was like
hay is super high.
Yeah, the hay was crazy. So we were shipping in all this hay and everything, and then the calves were not selling for that much. And everything else went up.
Right.
with inflation, but we are just now, it feels like.
Yes.
You know.
We
We're
finally
seeing a
got our
paycheck.
1 year out of 10 to make a little bit.
Yeah, because
And it's
this is the highest year since 15.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, we had M-Cool in 2014 when cattle
Yeah.
were high.
Oh, okay.
And then the Republicans and the Democrats, who were in the pocket of JBS, all voted to get rid of M-Cool, and the market crashed.
Okay.
But if you talk to all the experts, including personal friends of mine, they will tell you, nope, that was just supply and demand. M-Cool had nothing to do with it.
Well, and I keep hearing supply and demand, but how do you get more supply?
Yeah.
Importing, right?
Well, what I say, if that's true, guys, if that truly was supply and demand and nothing to do with M-Cool, let's do a little experiment and let's re-implement M-Cool and see what happens.
Yeah. Right?
You know? And so, yeah, that really frustrates me that. So, yeah, they eliminated M-Cool and the market crashed, and many of us had gone all in and borrowed a lot of money and bought cattle and bought ranches. And then you're just like, you know, calves are bringing $800-900 a head. So I remember 23. I mean, we had a lot of snow here too, and I had bought a lot of cows out of Montana that didn't know really what to eat in Nevada, and it was a tough winter. We spent a lot of money on hay. And what I tell people all the time is that the financial cost to get a cow through the winter was more than the actual value of the cow.
Yeah,
Oof.
it was. It was terrible that year.
Yeah,
And
I was
so-
buying cows out of Montana at that time for like $650 a head, and hay was $300 a ton.
Yeah.
And it's taken 2.5 ton to get a cow through the winter.
Yeah.
The hay was worth more than the cow.
Yeah.
That is
Nope.
insane.
That's exactly like I think I sold like an old I sold an open cow and I got the same price that I had bought a old dairy cow for. Like I'm like, really? Cool.
Yeah.
It was just like that was one of those years, you know. So you get behind there, and
Right.
now you're seeing a glimpse. I think we're seeing a lot of people still selling off at this point because it's high to try and recoup from where they
Yes,
lost out.
yes.
You know?
I mean,
So-
yeah, even with him being in the sale barn, I don't even think like team ropers are getting as fresh of steers to rope, probably, right? Just with
Oh
the
yeah,
price of
because they're
them.
expensive.
Well,
too.
yeah, and with the border closed.
Yeah.
You know, like the National Finals Rodeo, it's in their bylaws the cattle have to have an M on them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
They
that.
can only rope M-branded cattle for the rodeo. So if the border continues to stay shut, they might have enough cattle for this year if they bought them early, but next year they won't. So
Oh, it might be
they'll either
tough.
have to change their bylaws or
Really?
something.
Wow.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
See, so much people really don't know.
No, there's a ton. Like,
We
well, there's
love
a lot
your
of information.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
had a
wanted
good
to
one.
wanted to say just
Yeah.
you know, that's one of the things that I'm trying to get across to the president is we're not just a bunch of crybaby whiners that just freak out over the tiniest thing. Like we're all just on pins and needles because we're so used to getting clubbed over the head. Like every time we go around a corner, we just expect a black swan.
Yeah.
And so we finally are in a good position right here, and we're like, man, we're gonna make some money and pay some bills this year. And then he says something like that, and it tanks the market. That's why everybody freaked out
Yeah.
because you know they still like the president,
it was
but they're
this
just
close.
they're so sensitive to that. So
Yeah. But so our interview before we had you, or we came here to see you today, we talked to a gal named Darcy, and she's a first generation. And so we kind of talked about getting into the cattle business, and like if you have a loan or anything like that, like you kind of work for free for a really long
Right.
time. And so I think just something to communicate to the president would be, you know, no one's looking to get rich, really. Like, yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
good to make some money though, and not just do it for funsies.
Let me
Like-
go back to a point that I forgot to make.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've been trying to get Secretary Rollins to recognize is that as these ranchers are finally, this is a good year and they're finally getting ahead and they're able to make some money, let them keep that money. Let them. There needs to be some kind of a tax break, like the guys at Common Ground Summit are really worried about getting the inheritance tax lowered for the ultra rich guys that have a huge ranch. Okay, that's great for those guys to maybe pass their ranch on to the next generation. Like
Yeah.
this ranch here, I'd be able to pass on to my kids. But these young ranchers that are trying to get in, they don't have an inheritance tax problem. But if they have a good year, like I was talking to a friend in Jordan Valley, Oregon, that I grew up with, and he's like, I would like to sell cattle this year to pay down debt. But he said, if I do, I'm going to give it all away in taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of giving us like government subsidies to keep us in business, just let us keep our own money.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, I don't know what the number is, but like if you gross under $1 million or under 600,000 or whatever that number is that we decide on, then you don't pay any taxes. You know, if you're paying down debt.
Which makes me wonder, so we are trying to bring up our domestic supply, right? Like that's the whole goal. They're trying to find out ways to incentivize it.
Right.
But with so many people still having to kind of sell off to try and catch back up,
Yes.
it might be a little bit longer than you would think. You know, it's not just keeping heifers, but
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, this thing should be good for a couple of years and it'll go back down. And I'm just saying, no, it's going to be good for longer than that if we don't get flooded with imports or something like that, because there are just a lot of these older generation ranchers whose kids, they've watched their parents struggle all those years, financially, and just the constant pressure from the government.
Yeah.
And they're just like, man, I can go 10 bar and make more money, and I can sleep at night, and I don't have to have the stress.
Yep.
We don't have to work as hard, sweat as hard. You guys don't get a day off, not one day off.
No, no. And if, I don't really want a day off because I enjoy what I do every day. And I'm lucky because I get today I'm driving truck and hauling manure, and tomorrow I'm, this afternoon I'm branding calves.
Also Brandon sells blood
yes.
on his hands.
Yeah.
That's what ranchers do.
Yeah. So we're lucky. We just get, and with the sale barn, we're just constantly doing different things and going different places. And I really, truly do feel sorry for people that have to get up every day and go to the same job
8
and
to
do
5.
the same thing.
Monotonous.
Yeah, it would be torture.
How often do you have sales at your barn?
So we have a sale every Wednesday, and then on this time of year we have special sales on the first and third Friday of the month.
And when did you start your sale barn?
So my wife Rachel and I, we bought our first set of cows, I think in like 2003 or 4, something like that. And so we were feeding hay in Jordan Valley. And we had a big loan, and the first calf born froze to death, and the second calf born froze his legs like bricks. And we had been down here working for Rachel's dad, where cows you wean the calves in the fall and you trim them out to the winter range, and you gather them in the spring with baby calves on their side. And I was like, man,
that must be the life.
We got to get the hell out of here. And so I called Rachel's dad. I'm like, do you have room on your winter range for our cows? We only had 200 or 300 cows, and he's like, yeah. So right over there, that big old mountain over there is called Fairview. We dumped them out right there, and so then we kind of started ranching down here. We could continue to take cattle back to Oregon, but there's only 2 sale barns in the whole state.
Okay.
And there still is.
Yeah.
And one of them shut down. That was in 2006, and the guy from Idaho that was running the other one he just wasn't treating people good at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and the market wasn't very good, and he wasn't treating people well, so everybody's cattle were leaving. Like everybody was going to California and Utah and Idaho, and we took our cattle in there, and the market was kind of at a certain deal, a certain price, and just something happened. Like they just couldn't run the sale. It was real slow, and they had some big buyers there, like Dwayne Martin from California. Dwayne Martin Sr. was there, and Louis Gazzini was buying for Kings River, and the market was good, and we were like, man, we're going to get good prices. Anyway, the sale stopped, and they had to sort more cattle or something. Anyway, those guys got up and left.
Oh.
So by the time our cattle come into the ring, it was like $50 a head off.
Mm.
And of course, cattle were only $400 or $500 a piece.
That's a lot of money to lose per head.
50% off,
Yes, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and so that was our ranch payment. We lost it right there.
Yeah.
So at your sale barn, as long as the animal has a brand inspection, you take anything to sell, like
horses,
sheep, pigs.
Or is it just cattle?
we just sell mostly cattle. We get a few sheep, a few goats a year, but mostly cattle. Okay. Yeah, and so that's the big thing for us, is just to support the market. If the price starts out at here at the beginning of the sale, at the end of the sale, it should be pretty close. You can't have huge fluctuations. You're going to have fluctuations within your sale of the kind of cattle and different weights and stuff like that, but it needs to stay consistent from the beginning to the end. And then if you have good momentum and good auctioneers and you roll, usually the buyers stay right in there, and it's just a good sale.
It's smooth.
Yeah, if you stop, everybody gets to talking, and it just
They're hungry,
kills the momentum of your sale. So.
Gotcha. So can I ask, how do you attract buyers to your sale? Are they kind of established, or?
They're kind of established now. When we first started out, it's just a struggle to try to get buyers.
Gotcha.
That's one of the big things that I always get frustrated with the video companies, is that they'll have their sales early on in the summer before the fall run starts.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our buyers will get full on video cattle.
Gotcha.
So they haven't even taken delivery of them yet, but they've already bought them. They're already contracted.
Yeah.
So when you pick up the phone, you're going to have 5,000 head of cattle next couple days, and you call all them big buyers in California, and they're just like, oh, well, we're full, And so
Gotcha.
That's one of the biggest frustrations, is having a lot of good cattle there, and people are counting on it for their whole annual income, and then when the buyers don't show up. So luckily now we have the internet, which has really helped, because buyers from back east don't have to fly clear out here. They can just walk over to their computer and sit down. And so that helps a lot. And we have a really good rapport with our internet buyers, because we always try to make sure the cattle are right. Like if they buy something, because you can't tell 100% on the camera, like if there's something in the ring that isn't right.
Yeah.
I'll try to take them off just to where when they receive those cattle, they're happy with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's just being a great rancher.
Yeah, it's mainly just out of motivation so that he comes back and buys more.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So the role kind of, we've talked to like Allie about that a little bit, but like the role reverses, right? So then you were kind of representing the seller at that point by trying to protect their interest a little, especially if they can't be there, right?
Yeah, you're definitely working for both of them. We charge the sellers a commission, not the buyers.
Okay.
So we try to work really hard for the sellers and get them the most money we can. But
Yeah.
we're also not going to ship a cripple
Yeah.
in order to help the seller, because then that buyer's going to call up afterwards and say, hey,
Yeah.
I got a cripple. You know?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And so you got to take care of both of them.
Yeah.
So, Jack, coming from a really winter area in Jordan Valley, do you guys still breed the same cows?
Or did you switch?
As
breed
far
the
as the
same-
time of year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so where I grew up, we ran in common in the spring, and the neighbors turned their bulls out early because most of the neighbors were down in lower country, but we were up on Juniper Mountain. So we would be calving in February. Everything had to go through the barn, or otherwise they'd freeze to death. And so yeah, I'm a big time April May guy. Like
Okay.
I want my cows calving on green grass. They just clean better. They cycle back better. The coyotes have something else to eat. It's just, I don't know. The elk and the deer, it's April May. So why would I fight that? Why would I
Gotcha.
fight Mother Nature?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
No, makes sense.
One thing that I will say for a lot of ranchers that go to the mountain and they go up onto like a forest permit, and a lot of times it's hard. If a cow's going to calve in April, she's going to get bred in July. Well, it's pretty hot in July.
Yeah.
And so if you're going up on the mountain and you got a lot of water and your bulls aren't keeping up with your cows, you're going to end up with some open cows. So I do realize that that's why some people breed early to try to get their cows bred. But then
Then they're coming
the
some in the
consequence of
snow.
that is you're having earlier born babies.
Yeah. I know like our area, we're like mostly like March, April. And part of that is the BLM permits open up. So like our permit would open up in April. And so we want to be branded before and vaccinated before we
Yes,
turn out.
before you go out. Yep.
So anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just kind of brand year round. That's what somebody called today when we were branding. He's like, what are
I
you doing?
heard you say that. Made me laugh.
I said, you can't brand year round if you don't calve year round.
Yeah.
So,
Fun though, just have a little branding
Yeah.
and November 2nd.
Little cleanup, yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't- in our country, you don't hear many. Like,
yeah, we
brandings
brand
going on November
we brand
2nd.
probably 100 days out of the year. It's just kind of when we catch them. We just have small brandings like this. Just our own employees and that use the dead
love
man and
that.
brand 50 a day or whatever.
Less stress,
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I see, it looks like you kind of run a mixed herd, right? So I see some Hereford, Charlet. You told me about
this
that
kind-
Solaire.
Yeah, this set of cows we just dumped here because we wanted to get them branded.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we are not,
Don't discriminate.
no, we run. And so we have, like,
Where's
where you'll,
the certified Angus beef?
yeah. Did you guys hear that today with the Angus deal, I think they voted today that they kept all the board members. All the board members who took the money from Bezos, not a
Oh.
single one of them got
Really?
voted out.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And so I didn't follow Jeff too much, but didn't he just come out that he's not so into the
that was
climate
Bill
change
Gates?
stuff? Oh, that was Gates, not
Yeah,
Bezos.
but-
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, but
Same thing.
yeah.
No, same person.
Wouldn't you feel stupid to take money from somebody in the name of global warming and then fall for their whole scam, and then they turn around and just be like, I gotcha. We
Yeah.
don't believe in global warming.
Yeah, we just wanted your money. No,
Right. We just
I
want to
don't know.
control you.
I know we literally have kids cartoons about like the ice age. Our climate changes, right? Like
right. Yeah. Yeah. So back to the kind of cattle we run. This ranch that if you guys go back this way tonight over Carroll Summit, that's where we run our real crossbreedy cows. They're all kind of Beefmasters, Brayfords. There's Pintos. It's just like our rainbow herd of
I love colors.
of our crossbred cows. And then another ranch we run all of our Hereford cows on. We put gray Brahma bulls on them and make F1 tiger stripes.
oh, okay.
You ever seen one of them?
No,
I
I
don't-
haven't.
I don't
they're
think so.
they're real popular in Texas. They call them front pasture cows. They bring a ton of money down there. They're just a brindle. They're just tiger stripe, and they have a white face. They're kind of cool. So.
Oh,
And they do
okay.
fine in this climate. The
Oh
cold.
yeah, they do great. They live forever. They'll breed till they're 20 years old.
20?
Yeah.
They
go
really
for it.
live till they're 20?
Yeah, they're called an F1 tiger stripe. Yeah, they're
Okay.
out of a Hereford cow and a gray Brahma bull.
I didn't even know a cow could live till it's 20.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
having calving 18, 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got that set of cows. So we got the crossbreds, the Herefords. Then over in Dixie Valley on the backside of that mountain, we run a set of just straight like little Coriani roping type. Just they're roped out cattle is what they are.
Yeah.
And we were putting Charlet bulls on them, but we didn't have enough Charlet bulls to breed them and our crossbred cows. So we started putting the F1 Tiger Stripe bulls, kind of the front end of those bulls. We're making the F1s to get the heifers, but then there's a lot of pretty good boned, pretty good bulls. So we started taking those and breeding them to the Corrientes. And so we got that cross. And then up at Alpine, we run all of our Angus cows there.
Where'd you learn about the F1s from?
Probably just when I was down there buying in Texas. And you know who I learned about F1s from originally was from Gordon King. Gordon's from Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, they ranch up there around that Bruno, Grandview area.
Oh, okay.
He said, the only thing our Hereford's good for is making an F1. And I'm like, what's an F1?
Yeah.
So,
tell me.
Yeah.
An F-150?
And now here you are.
Yeah, Gordon was a very successful rancher.
So in your genetics for what you're running around here, are we looking for something that does well in like a high desert kind of climate? Like they have to travel, right?
Yeah.
Can they be heavy milkers or not really in this area?
No, that's one of the things like about the Beefmasters. A Brayford is just a Brahma Hereford. A Beefmaster is the same, but they have a little bit of shorthorn in them.
Okay.
And shorthorns are like a milk breed. And so that's always been my reason for not getting any Beefmaster bulls is because they milk too much. So I'd rather have a cow with a little less milk that has a 450-pound calf every year than one that raises a 600-pound calf every other year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So milk's a big thing. We don't want too much milk.
So then at the brandings, if a calf is growing horns, you can...
Yeah, so we leave the horns on all of our replacement heifers.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course dehorn all the steers.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And out here a lot in Nevada, a lot of that green grass will come inside the brush in the spring because it's got a little like a cover crop sort of.
Gotcha.
And so you'll see your muley cows that don't have horns, all the hair is missing off their nose because they're reaching in there trying to get that green grass. And you watch those horn cows, they'll take that horn and they'll just stick it in there and then they'll just roll it, and then they'll just reach in there.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
God put horns on them for a reason. You know?
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
I had someone else tell me that, and I was like, well, I guess for defense, but I don't want them to hit me with them, you know?
Right.
I don't want to count it with the
Yeah, if you're
horns.
feeding cows all winter and they're hooking each other on the feed ground, I understand that you wouldn't want horns. But if you're out on the desert and they're fighting off coyotes and roughaging for forage, you want them to have horns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good to know. All right. So,
we don't ever put our cows through a squeeze chute either.
okay.
Our cows come to the kraal to get the calves branded and get shipped, but we don't preg or run them through and vaccinate.
Gotcha.
We vaccinate all of our calves twice a year, but we don't vaccinate any of the cows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't want my cows to hate going to the kraal. You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're not preg checking then either, right?
No.
Okay.
No. So we'll take a cow that missed, like if she's open in the spring, we'll give her another chance.
Yeah.
And then we'll preg all those in the fall because if she ran dry and didn't get bred, then obviously we got an issue. She's got to go.
Yeah.
But
We can't have freeloaders.
2 strikes and you're out here.
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and on a desert deal where we're running on 1,200,000 acres. And you're just going to have some good cows that take off and go looking for feed, and a bull just doesn't keep up with them, you know? So you can't sell every open cow or you'll be out of cows pretty quick.
Yeah.
So...
Interesting.
That's, we run Charolais bulls on a lot of those cows, but it's hard to get Charolais bulls that really will travel and go, and our cows are big-time travelers. And so we've started taking these F1 Tiger Stripe bulls and just kind of sprinkling them around like in June or July when our other bulls we're seeing are starting to get sore-footed and slowing down.
Yeah.
And we do see that on the other ranch where we run all Red Angus Simmental bulls and a few Black Angus bulls and some Black Sim Angus bulls, and then we run some Tiger Stripe bulls there. And so you'll see cows calving in March and April and May, and then after any calf born after June, they're all eared calves. So it's like the mother bulls all just go shade up and quit.
Yeah, we did it. Okay.
Right, exactly. So anyway, that's one reason that I've started putting Brayford bulls on my other cows too. Like even my crossbred cows, I don't want them getting bred to an eared bull, but I'd sure rather have a eared calf than no calf. So I kind of use them for cleanup.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ranchers that preg check. Do you think more preg check than don't preg check?
I don't know any ranchers that don't preg check.
Okay,
Other than
'cause-
myself, Yeah, we just...
It's a surprise what you're getting. How many you're
yeah,
getting.
and then if you got a cow in June, and there were so much more. Like right now, if you're pregging right now, and people that feed hay, I understand it. Like if I was carrying a cow through the winter and feeding her $300 a ton hay, I would preg and do something else with the opens. But where these cows are just going out and there's a lot of feed being left behind anyway, we're really not... It's not costing anything to carry over.
Right.
But this time of year is when everybody markets, so this is the cheapest time of year for cull cows.
Gotcha.
So in June, when there are none, they're much higher. And so you kick a cow out, and she's going to put on a lot of weight between now and June. So you're going to sell a much bigger, much fatter cow at a much higher price. So by carrying her till June, it's almost like her having a calf because of the value you've picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let her eat.
And the input's not that high, right? So, yeah.
Yep.
So are you guys do you run on public lands then too, right?
Yes.
And so I saw as part of their proposed deal, they're looking at reinstating AUMs that were
suspended.
Yep, that's the word.
Yes. Yep.
So they're looking at bringing those back. I know, like when we look at our permit, there's like a list that says how many are suspended. And Michelle and I, again, we're talking about that on the way up here, and how if they take them away, they don't usually give them back.
They never give them back. It's a one-way ratchet. So yeah.
And so that's going to be interesting. Have you heard anything on that? Like how they'd be implementing it? Would they be giving them all back? Would they?
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion about that. There's even discussion amongst some ranchers. Like if they give back the suspended AUMs, there's already not enough feed out there. So my thought process on the suspended AUMs was give it back as like a piggy bank. And so if you have a wet year, like right now, like if you guys go over the mountain, we've had all this fall rain and we've got green grass like that. So typically how the BLM is that's like a 2 or 3 year process to apply for that.
Yeah.
That should be a 2 or 3 week process.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion would be your suspended AUMs go in a piggy bank, and then you know how like if you have a dry year, all of a sudden the BLM's just crawling all over you that you need to cut because it's dry. But on a wet year, we're just so short staffed we can't get out to look at any feed. And now this evil president has cut these government workers, so they blame it all on Trump that they can't come out and measure any feed. So our suggestion is give us third-party verifiers. So like if you need to hire an accountant, you just go hire somebody who's a certified accountant. The way it is now with the BLM, if you want to hire one of their contractors, they have to be kind of like approved by the BLM, and most of them actually work for the BLM. So it's like, okay, I want you to come work for me, but you're getting your bread and butter from the BLM. You might be a great person, do me a great job, but I have reservations because I want to hire somebody I feel is working for me, not somebody that's kind of compromised by the government already.
Well,
so back to the piggy bank, let's put the suspended AUMs over here, and then let's hire somebody who's independent to come out and measure that feed. And if we have excess feed, then they'll let you have that many AUMs.
Yeah. I always wondered, so I went to one of the ranchers roundups one time, and there was a BLM representative, and they were talking about paradise up there, and he was telling us how, I don't know if it was in the 70s, but they used to run 5 times the cattle that they did currently.
Yeah.
And he was talking about like how it was overgrazed and all these things, but in my mind, if it's overgrazed, then you can't come back the next year, you know?
Right.
So how were they able to maintain 5 times the amount of cattle but still come back every year?
Right.
So was it really being overgrazed then? Or is it someone's opinion? You know, it sounds like it's very objective.
Right.
Or subjective, whichever one.
Yeah, there definitely was overgrazing at some, like the ranch that my parents bought. There was a lot of juniper trees, and they ran a lot of cattle and a lot of sheep, whoever they had bought it from. And my dad said you could ride for miles and literally not find a blade of grass in the fall. So it was overgrazed. So my parents and my uncle went in, they bought it, they started resting it, they built a bunch of division fences where they could rest, and then they just started cutting juniper trees. Like I grew up with a chainsaw in my hand cutting juniper trees. And then we did, controlled burns, and now there's so much grass there that they actually need more cows on it because it's getting rank.
Yeah.
And a lot of those plants are starting to die out because they're not getting grazed off.
Gotcha.
So it's all about balance and just one thing we should talk about is like Western Watersheds have came in and sued so many of these, the equal rights to justice or equal access to justice.
Oh, okay.
It's called EJA. It's equal access to justice, I believe is what it is. And so they'll come in and sue the BLM over some little stream or something. And then the BLM, if they sue on like 18 points, they only have to win on 1 point. And then they get their attorney fees paid. Oh, okay. So Western Watersheds is a multi-million-dollar environmental organization or environmental group, and your taxpayers and my tax dollars are paying them every time. So it's a sue and settle.
Okay.
So they've just turned it into a business model.
Yeah.
And so what I've said to like the America First Policy Institute that Rollins organized, I'm like, man, we should go after them and sue them, and get that money back, because they've proven that every AUM pulled out of these rural communities is $100 loss per year. So if you're looking at 1,000 AUMs times $100, 100,000, and if that's been over 10 years, then you're looking at $1 million. So they've pulled $1 million out of Churchill County just off one ranch.
Huh.
And so I think we should go after them and get that money back. So instead of the government forking out this money to go build a division fence or put in a pipeline for troughs or whatever, get it back from the environmental organizations that claim to care about the land.
Yeah.
You know?
But remember, like the Hammonds and all of that was going on up in Oregon? Was that Western Watersheds with them, or was that just the Forest Service?
I think that was Hillary Clinton wanting their uranium.
That's what I knew that there was something deeper on that, but I was like, it seemed a little, it seemed shady. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that Western Watersheds was involved in that.
Okay.
But
I was just wondering. I knew that there was speculation that government agencies were kind of going after them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that whole thing turned into a nightmare. And then that one guy got killed by the FBI. And I wish there would be more investigation into that. Yeah, Western Watersheds has they've taken a lot of money out of rural America.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one thing that we've asked through this plan is for them to, so if you're a low-income person and the government has wronged you somehow, you should be able to sue them and have equal right to justice. That's what it was designed for. It wasn't designed for multi-million-dollar environmental organizations to set up a business model.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, every time you go to the BLM, under the current BLM, they'll say, oh, well, we might get sued. We can't do that. We might get sued. Well, okay, that's your answer to everything is we might get sued. You know, let grow a pair and let's take the fight to them. You know, instead of just settling all the time. Like I want to go on the offense. I want to go after these environmental organizations. You know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So Sadie and I. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sadie and I today were fortunate to show up, and we got to help brand a little bit. But I just wanted to talk about your women that are ranch hands. I know one's your daughter and the other one's Amy, and she said she worked for you for 10 years.
Yeah.
I think that is so neat to still see women cowboying.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I would rather have good women working for me than men, because the men they're going to be gone this weekend to a rodeo.
Yeah.
And they're going to, they're going to probably be headed to the bar tonight, and they're probably going to be late to work in the morning. And the women, they just take it more serious, and I don't know.
If they're a good hand, they're a good hand.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
Yeah. And then we want to let any employee that's been around a while and is invested and tries hard, we want to let them run their own cattle. We don't charge them anything for the feed. I provide the bulls. Same with my kids. My kids got a good sized cow herd.
Yeah.
And so
10 years, though, that's a long time to be a ranch hand for someone. So that speaks a lot of volume about you.
Yeah, and she's got a nice set of cows. She's got a really cool little set of crossbred cows. And so, I'm hoping that someday she, now that these cattle are getting to be worth something, like her calf check last year was like $30,000 or something. That's a pretty good little.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a really nice bonus. Yeah.
And so she keeps putting that money back into more cattle, and eventually she'll be able to go buy her own ranch. And that's why we need to get the limit up on these FSA loans, so that people like Amy can go buy a ranch. Because right now it's $600,000 is the most you can
buy
borrow.
Anything.
Right. That won't buy you a lot in town.
Buy 10 acres, maybe.
Right.
That doesn't run cows in Nevada.
Right. So it needs to be like $6 million. And so the same friend from Oregon, Josh Bruce, and I were talking about it, and he's like, okay, so you can only borrow $600,000 from FSA, but you can go to the bank and borrow several million, and then FSA will guarantee it. So the bank has no risk. So why don't you just let us borrow it direct from FSA at 3% rather than having to go pay a bank 7%? And the bank's getting 7%, but they have no risk.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it's all guaranteed by the government.
Oh, okay.
So who's going to be against that is going to be your banks.
Yeah.
Because
I want you to go through there. Yeah, I want my 7%.
Yes.
But that interest rate was kills you on the payments too, right?
Yep. So I think that's part of this plan. I hope it's something that we asked for raise that limit that you can borrow.
Yeah, I love that.
I like that because I feel like we need more people getting into the ag industry, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see it right now.
And it's hard to.
Yeah, and it's being taken over by giant companies like your mom and pop or your, backyard person, and there's being less and less of that because it's harder and harder to get into it.
One of the big things is the depreciation. So somebody that's very wealthy can go buy a ranch, and then they can depreciate this gate and that old barn. And they can save $10 million right off the front end by depreciating it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with rainfall insurance, but you can buy rainfall insurance on all these acres. acres, and it sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't. But you got these wealthy guys coming in and buying ranches for the rainfall insurance. So they've inflated the price of these ranches to where no young people can get in because they can't compete on that. So they on the rainfall insurance, they either need to get rid of it or they need to make it. Our suggestion to USDA was that you have to be in active. What's the word? Active use, or there's another term, but you got to be really in the cattle business.
You actually have to
like
be
actual
running
use
cattle
or something?
on that land.
Well,
Yeah.
it's active use and substantial use, I think. So you got to be like running 90% of your AUMs.
Okay.
Okay.
Because what they'll do, man, I've had people call me and say, hey, can you buy me a cow? And I'll be like, yeah. Can you make the brand inspection to Ely, Nevada? But can you just drop it off at my friend's place in Fallon? I just got to send it in to USDA to show that I run cattle on my ranch so they can get rainfall insurance.
Crooked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just not right. And so I'm cool with keeping the rainfall insurance, but I think it should go to the guy who has the cattle on the ranch. So like a lot of these ranches just west of me here, they don't have any cattle on them. They're just vacant. And so then the BLM will come along and say, oh, it looks like your side's a little overgrazed. And I say, well, or maybe his side's undergrazed.
Yeah, not being eaten.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the fire starts on his side and then burns me out because they haven't run any cattle there. And the reason he's not running any cattle there is because he's making so much money off the rainfall insurance, he doesn't need to run cattle. So, and then the other thing is you have Nature Conservancy and stuff coming in and buying these ranches, and then they mothball the permits. So we're saying it's use it or lose it. You have 1 year to get cattle on there, and if you don't, then it goes to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Or it can go to a young rancher in town that wants to apply for it. Another thing that needs to happen, in our opinion, BLM you can sublease. So I can set up an LLC, and if you guys want to run cattle, I can put you on my LLC.
Yeah.
But on Forest Service, you can't do that. And I fortunately don't have any Forest Service on my ranch anywhere. But on Forest Service, they have to have my brand on them, or they can't be there.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And so we're trying to change that to where they can sublease on Forest Service. So let's say there's a kid in town that works for the state or the county, and he's got a little farm ground, and he wants to be a rancher. He grew up around it. He's worked on ranches. He's got a little cow herd. He's got some hay ground. He can feed them in the winter, but he's got nowhere to go in the summer. He should be able to come out and put them on my forest permit if I got extra feed.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll get some help. He can come help brand on the weekends or drive truck or whatever.
Yeah.
And trade for that. So your older ranchers are going to get some free help.
Yeah.
And it's going to help that young guy in town get into the cattle business and
Get
have
his
somewhere
foot
to
in the
go.
door.
Yeah.
But the way the Forest Service permits are set up, you can't do that. So especially if that young guy in town has a bank lien, he can't put Jack Payne's brand on his cow to run on the forest permit because the bank has a lien on his iron. So now he's in trouble with his bank.
Yeah.
And it can get messy if we put my brand on somebody's cattle in order to run on say a forest permit.
Right.
Yeah.
Change the sublease laws to where as long as the BLM knows whose cattle are out there, and if they see that brand, they already have been notified up front, everything's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Amy, who works for you,
Right.
if she had her own, well, she probably has her own brand on her cattle,
Right.
she couldn't run them on your Forest Service
Right,
line.
and
But
so
the
she runs them on
line
our
she can.
BLM, and we have put her on our LLC.
Yeah.
So she's like a member of our LLC, so we're covered there. But if we had a forest permit, she wouldn't. I couldn't even run my own kids' cattle on a forest permit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. So that's one thing that has vacated a ton of allotments on Forest Service. I believe there's more vacant Forest Service allotments than there are BLM allotments. And so that's one thing that you know people need to be watching. That is that I had several calls in the last 2 weeks. What can I do to get ahead of the game on these permits that they're going to be reallocating, these vacant allotments?
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of people are trying to go to these Forest Service offices, but they're all closed.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's been a discussion we've had amongst our little group that went to D.C. is like, okay, if a Forest Service permit comes up, who should get to apply for it? Should it be the neighbor who's already against it and used to have it or is up against it? Or should they give it out to somebody new,
Oh, that's tough.
What do you guys think?
That's tough because where we're located, we're right at the mouth of like a Forest Service area, and we used to be able to run cows up there, and then that permit, they shut that down. So if they were to open that back up, that would be, I guess I'm a little biased. I would
I am
think
too.
it should
Yeah.
come to
I think it
us
should
because
go
we're
back.
there.
I think it should go back to the person who is running there. And now if they don't use it or don't need it or don't want it,
then they
then
can
it
choose
should
to
go.
let it up.
Right.
Right.
Or sublease it, like you said.
Yeah,
Right?
but I don't want to have. I'm very fortunate that I'm surrounded with really good neighbors. I just don't want to have a new neighbor come in that I don't know. Like we're always hesitant,
Right. Well, because then you've got bulls coming over your fence, and you've
Right.
got all sorts of different.
We've had some really bad neighbors, and we've had a lot of cattle that didn't come back. And right now we've got good neighbors, and we've got a good relationship. And And so I just hope it stays that way.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a food for thought. I'll have to think on that a little bit.
You need one of those T-shirts. What is that? I've seen it, like, trust your neighbors, but brand your own cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I told you as we were branding. Like, we don't like to brand them this little, but
Hey, you have it in the crowd. You got to do
get it done. Yeah.
I take pride in having my cattle branded up all the time. Not because I don't trust my neighbors. It's just good management.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we like to rope. So
Yeah. I guess I got to do it.
Yes, exactly. Should I dig post holes today or brand
I
calves?
guess I have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Is there anything else we can touch on?
You see that Watusi cow?
I do. I just caught it.
I bought her out of Toppenish, Washington.
Oh my goodness! I wish I got to look at her every day.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we breed those cows back to those tiger stripe bulls, and so you get a lot of them that are black with a white face, but they show some ear. Mm-hmm. But then their moms are those little.
Oh, I didn't realize their horns got that wide.
Well, she's part Watusi. She's not a straight roping. Yeah, she's got some Watusi in her. But she's kind of a marker cow.
Oh, so how are they temperament wise?
I've only got 4 or 5 Watusis on the whole ranch. They're kind of shitheads.
Okay, like run you up a fence.
Sadie shouldn't take a walk in front of her.
I won't.
Yeah,
They'll
no, they won't. They won't like charge you. Or nothing. They're just not. They're not real. They can be a little rude.
I told Michelle again, I like Charolais. Obviously, they put like good mass on cattle and everything. Like, but for whatever reason, everything that charges me is a Charolais. So I'm like,
they do have a little attitude.
Yeah, they always every time it's not bluffing. It comes at me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. So.
Yeah, we use Charolais on all of our crossbred cows because they kind of clean up the pintos and the color. They if you breed even a good black bull to a cow that's got some pinto, a lot of times they'll have a black and white calf. Yeah. And they'll get docked at the sale.
Gotcha. So you'll get a little more uniform.
But if you breed a Charolais bull to a pinto cow, the calf might even come out pinto, but the buyers, they'll hardly ever take out a yellow and white pinto calf, but they'll take a black and white one out of the bunch every time.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah, so.
Jack is teaching the next generation.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of science behind the breeding to get the color you want.
Yeah.
When they're not all red or black or.
Yeah. It would be good if there was somewhere for the younger generation or these first-time ranchers to go to learn, because you're probably not going to learn it in a college.
You're not going to?
I'm not saying that the college professors probably aren't good, but
it's what you do daily.
Right, and we've made so many mistakes we've learned from them.
Yes.
The college professor, he only knows what he learned from a college professor.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's black and white, right?
Yeah, they've
not
had the real life experiences where you're like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, welcome to Jack Payne's college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of go by the mantra, like, there is no substitute for experience. Like,
and I'm kind of a slow learner, so I usually have to learn it twice.
That makes two of us.
I learned it the hard way. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't just get it right the first time.
Yeah.
But,
do you breed any horses?
No, we are kill pen. Every horse we own on our ranch has came out of the kill pen.
Really?
Except for this year, we went and bought some from Memory Ranches.
Okay.
And then we bought some at the Van Norman sale that came from Fred and Jan. So this is the first time ever that we have bought horses.
you
guys are handy then.
Every horse that we're branding on today, they all came out of the kill pen. Yeah.
I love it.
And so how are you picking them out of the kill pen? Do you have a standard you go by, or
no? Just buy them and try them.
Gotcha.
But I don't try them as much as I used to.
How old is the one you were on today?
Oh, Fat Albert. He is.
He doesn't look that fat. He looks like he works
when
good.
we got him, he was a toad. And the ranch he came from Willie Stevens over in Willie Stevenson in Cedarville, and we didn't know it when we first bought him. I rode him the first time. He was good, so I put my daughter on him. Now he has bucked everybody on the ranch off except for me. And the reason he's never bucked me off is because he's never bucked with me. He bucks hard.
He must buck hard.
Really? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he will. He's bucked off some really good cowboys. So.
So do you feel you save a bit of money then by
taking a chance on
kill
something?
horses and training them? And
yeah, our horses cost like $500. And people are like, I wouldn't ride a horse that costs less than $15,000. I'm like, well,
it doesn't mean you're getting the horse.
So you know.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. Huh?
Yeah, really cool. Because we're going to speak for you, but they look great out there. Like they looked.
No,
like
that's what I was learning. Oh, so how old was he? You said he was fat.
Fat Albert? I don't know. He's got to be getting up there. I bet he's.
Oh, because he was great for you today.
He looks solid.
Yeah, he's really good to rope on outside and
then your daughter Emily, she was on a cute roan.
Yeah, he came out of Schurz. He came off the reservation down there. They sold him because he bucked, but my wife rides him. He's never bucked with us.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
This seems to be a theme.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want anyone to get hurt, Jack, but it would have been fine if we were a buck today.
Yeah,
Like, we did want to
no.
come for a show.
Right. No.
Not Emily, fat Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting older. I don't crave that the way I used to. So.
You don't bounce back anymore?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't bounce at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But,
Oh, Jack,
yeah. Everybody's
thank you so
like,
much.
we ride motorcycles a lot, and we use a helicopter a lot, so we get made a lot of fun of because we're not always a horseback, but we got other things we got to get done. You know. So.
And
Modern
there's a lot
cowboy.
of country out here,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We had a friend, he used a drone. And he could bring them in with a drone pretty efficiently. So I was
Yeah.
like, huh, interesting.
If the BLM wasn't always harassing us, we would just do it all just horseback and just do our thing. But where you had these deadlines, like we got to have these cows up here, got to be off within 5 days, and then if your allotment is the whole value of your ranch, so
Yeah.
if you get a trespass and lose it, it's like you can't afford that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That little buckskin right there, he's home raised. He's out of an old mare. I had Miss Piggy, and I bought her through the sale. We used to have a horse sale at our auction, and a kid that worked for us, Mike Baker, brought her to the sale, and he said, I've been riding her outside. Mike had MS, so he's really crippled up. Once he got on a horse, he was good, but he wasn't good and get around good on the ground. He had a cane. He was young. But anyway, he's like, would you mind riding her through the ring for me? Well, come to find out, he had never got on her.
Oh.
So her first ride was me riding her in the ring. But she turned out to be an awesome mare. So that's the only one that we've ever bred. That's her colt, that little buckskin.
Oh,
He's
nice.
going to be a cool little dude.
I have a whole new perspective looking at all these horses.
Yeah.
Like, they're lucky to be here. They all got a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That big paint right there, his name is Mountain, and he bucks pretty hard. You can talk him out of it if you're lucky.
Jack Payne's bucking string.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
He came from Sam T. Gazzini, and yeah, he's special.
A second chance for horses, but 2 strikes and you're out if you're a cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we go through a lot of horses. Like if they don't, if they're lazy or whatever, we just send them back to the sale.
Yeah.
They had their chance.
Yeah.
So,
What's your sale barn's name?
Nevada Livestock Marketing.
Do you guys have
Okay.
a Facebook page?
We do.
Perfect.
Yep.
So you have a Facebook page, and you also go online, right, during the sale? So
Yeah,
if people
we're
want to
on
watch
DV
the
auction.
sale. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Live bidding.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, so people can get on there, and we sell a lot of cattle online. I think our last sale, there was $3 million worth of cattle sold online.
Wow.
Yeah. You guys hit some record highs too, didn't you? Just
Yeah,
recently?
they were personal records for us because even though the market had dipped last week, they were still records for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very
All
nice.
right.
So-
Something to be proud of. That's
Yeah.
very neat.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us have your time. We
Yes,
really
thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Well,
We
for-
know you have a lot better things to be doing than chatting with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were just wanting to educate people who don't understand it all and
Yeah.
Maybe give
let
some
them kinda
clarity.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it like dumb
Well-
it down, but there's a lot needed and then people understand it better.
Yeah.
And there's so much information, and it can be a little overwhelming. So.
It is. Like when you're talking to the folks in DC, it's just like, I mean, I still don't even understand this industry. It's so complicated and so complex, and it's always moving and changing. And then you're sitting in D.C. talking to somebody that doesn't even know which end of the cow gets up 1st. It's like they're just drinking out of a fire hose,
Yeah. Well, and you don't even know what you don't even know, so you don't even know what question to ask.
Right.
Right. You just pick a side and
Yeah.
it's right, but you don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, everybody's so ticked off at Trump for not understanding that the cattle ranchers don't set beef prices. Well, he's a New Yorker. He's just not going to know that.
Right.
The
I'm
cows come from
disappointed.
here. Surely
Yeah.
they said it.
I'm disappointed that some of our leaders haven't educated him on that already, and so that's something that I would like to help
Yeah.
explain to them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so hopefully we can keep the door open to DC and just take independent thoughts there from people that just want to do right by their communities and their families and get rural America back to what it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
that'd be great.
All right. Well, thank
Okay.
you, Jack.